aprendemos sobre las afirmativas y negativas. Okay, so today we're going to learn about affirmatives and negatives in speech. So if you ask an affirmative question, how do you answer it negatively? In English, we answer with the affirmative. No, do you have any homework? No, I do not have any homework tonight. But in Spanish, we say, no, I don't have no homework. Not any homework. So we will answer in Spanish with double, triple negatives sometimes. So I'm going to teach you that today. Okay, first thing you have to learn is you have to memorize this, and you should be taking notes on this. You have to memorize this little paradigm, this box. It's in a special order, because do you want something to eat? No, I want nothing to eat. You can't say, do you want something to eat? No, I want no one to eat. Or no, I want never to eat. So it has to correspond. You have to memorize it in order. Okay, so the affirmative, the first one we're going to do is the word something. Okay, the word something in Spanish is algo. It does not have gender agreement. Algo, and it's always algo. Okay, it can't be plural or have gender. So the opposite of something is nothing. Okay, and nothing is nada. And it also does not have gender. It's always nada. So, algo, nada. Notice how I put the arrow, because the opposite of something is nothing. So memorize it in that order. Algo, nada. Okay? The next one is someone or somebody. And that word is alguien. Also does not have gender or number agreement. The opposite of someone or somebody is no one or nobody, and it is nadie. Okay? And that D is a fricative D with like a TH. Nadie. Okay? Now, this one here, I'm going to kind of put a special area for, because this one is completely different. This one, we're going to put an asterisk. It has gender and number agreement. So it can be feminine or masculine, singular or plural. Okay, and this one is the word some or any. Okay, so the word some or any in its original form is algún. It has an accent over the U. Algún. Okay, now when you're going to use it in that form, algún, because it has 5 forms. When you're using it in that form, you're going to drop the O off. So you're going to, I'm going to put this, you're dropping the O before a masculine singular noun. Okay? And I'll show you that in just a second. Just get that rule written down. You drop the O before a masculine singular noun. So it would be the form algún. It also has alguno or alguna, because it can be feminine or masculine in the singular form. You can also do it in the plural. Algunos and algunas. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms. Gender and number agreement. Some or any. Okay, now this is where it confuses us. And this is where we make mistakes in English as well. But it's accepted. It's kind of an accepted mistake. Okay, the opposite of some or any is the word none or not any. Okay, now in this one, the original form is the opposite. Algún, it's ningún. You also drop the O before a masculine singular noun. So I'm not going to write that again here, but that's what that form is right there, okay? So we'll put that little asterisk here to mean that it has that same rule. Okay, on none, the only problem with none is that we mostly use the word ninguno or ninguna, the singular forms. The plural forms, ningunos and ningunas, I'm not even going to put up there because they're very rarely used. And I'll explain to you why in just one second. But I want to ask you, okay, so the word none. So if I ask a student in my class, go next door and see, are there any students over there waiting for me? And that student comes back and they want to say, Mrs. Thompson, there is none or there are none. What would you say in English? Is none or are none? You would say are none, right? Mostly people say are none because it's colloquially accepted. It's an error, grammar error that we accept. But it's not correct. And an English teacher would go, cringe, because it is none. Because none is not one. It's singular. So it is none, not are none. Now today, when you're in the cafeteria or out after school, I want you to notice how many times you hear people say are none versus is none. And if you want, go ask your English teacher. Say, is none, are none. Does it annoy you when people say are none? And they will say yes.
I say aren't any.
There are not any, but you're using the affirmative. See, in English, but in Spanish, when you use the negative, and you answer there is none, so you're getting around it by using the affirmative. But so ask your English teacher if you feel like asking, but notice today and try to correct yourself. Is none. Is none, not are none. Okay, now, can you use the plural forms? There are the plural forms. They're very rarely used. If you want, I'll asterisk it and put rarely used. Is rarely with an E? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Rarely used. Okay, so there would be ningunos and ningunas. Okay, we'll put it in parentheses and we'll say it's very rarely used. This is when it's rarely used. If you have a noun that is always plural in Spanish, like scissors, and this is feminine and plural, tijeras, right? So a student asked me, Mrs. Thompson, may I borrow a scissor? A scissor? No, we say scissors, right? It's always plural, scissors. So in that case, if you said, are there any scissors in the classroom? I would say, in this case, I would say, no hay ningunas tijeras. So I could use the plural form, but it's so rare. The other words that I can think of, tijeras, scissors, always plural in Spanish. Glasses, because we don't wear a glass.
That's lots.
Right? So glasses is always feminine and plural. Las gafas, if you use that one. The other term is anteojos, which would be masculine and plural. And the other word is vacaciones. We always use the word vacation. We don't say, did you go on vacation? We say on vacations. Always plural in Spanish. So those are the rarely used ones. I'm not going to try to trick you on the test by doing those, okay? So I would really rather just leave that plural thing off. So, and I'll show you an example in just a second. Okay, now let's continue. So we have something, someone, some, or any. Now let's do always. Okay, we have the word always is siempre in Espanol. Okay, the opposite of always is the word never. And we have two words for never. You can use nunca or jamás. Jamás has an accent over the A. Okay, nunca, jamás. Okay, two more to go, and I'm sorry we're kind of getting down low here, but the word also, or sometimes you see it as in too, as in me too, is the word también, right? And the opposite of me too or me also is me neither. So también, tampoco is neither. Okay? And then the last one I want to be able to show you is how to do neither, nor, and either, or. So if I said, do you like coffee or tea? And you would say, oh no, Mrs. Thompson, I don't like neither coffee nor tea. So the affirmative is or, and it's O and then O, because O means or. So if I said, ¿te gusta el café o el té? Do you like coffee or tea? And then if you wanted to say, no me gusta ni el café ni el té, you would use N-I N-I. And that one's neither nor. Okay? So, quickly, let's do an example for each one. You must memorize this paradigm. Paradigm, it's in order. The opposite of algo is nada. Okay, so let's say them together. Algo, nada. Alguien, nadie. Algún,